There are many different skills out there that you can learn, but in this video, I'm going to be going over 5 that if you master are going to make you an absolute beast in your games. Let's jump into it. In fact, before we jump into it, my name is Dave and this is Simplysoccer, where I'm creating videos every single week to help you improve your game and stand out on the pitch. If you want something that's going to help you with that immediately, download my free ebook Game Changer down below. Now, without further ado, let's get into these 5 skills that if you master are just going to make you an absolute beast, give you so many different things to work with and make you so unpredictable as well when you're taking players on one-on-one. So let's get into it in reverse order, starting with number 5. Now, number 5 is one of my favorite attacking moves. It is so good. There's many variations of it, but I'm just talking about a simple step over where you go in one direction and take it out the other way. I can't tell you how many times this has worked for me and top level players as well, you know, who you can watch professional players use this move all the time to their advantage. And it's so amazing when you get quick and good at it with the lean. You really can do so much with this move. It's not that hard to learn. Like, it can look a little fancy, especially when you mix it with some other stuff, but it's actually quite a simple move. It's a simple movement over the ball, a lean, and then taking it out the other way. And it's an amazing move for attacking players to beat someone one-on-one, to get a shot off, a cross, or just get into space, and one I highly recommend you learn to master. Before moving on to the next one, put in the comments, I am skillful. Let me know what your favorite skill move is as well down there. Now let's move on to number 4. Now, number 4 is a little more of a fancy move, I would say, but super effective, and it is the roulette or the Maradona. And this one, although it looks a little fancy, I would say it's pretty simple because it involves actually 2 drag backs, but the timing of this move is what makes it so effective. When someone lunges in or their momentum's going in a certain direction, you can use this to completely bamboozle them and go around them. I love this move because it also allows you to protect the ball while you're doing it. It's one of those moves where if you can get to the ball just even a fraction of a second before the defender, you can take it away from them. It's a very reactionary move that you can use. The step over, you can kind of set up the conditions for that, where a roulette is kind of more of an instinctual, in the moment type of move. And it's a great one to have in your repertoire. Again, don't be intimidated by how complex it may look. It actually is very easy to learn the movement, but it's another move I have found is so useful. And when you get it right, you completely take the defender out of the game when you use it on them properly. So make sure you hit that like button. And now we're going to move on to the third move. This third move is an amazing move to cut back inside, especially when you're running at speed, and it's the Ronaldo chop. Now, I love this move. It's super simple, but again, like when you do it right, it's so hard to read and it's so hard to defend. Now, you need a little bit of space to work with when you do this move, and you've probably seen Ronaldo and tons of other players use this move when they're at full pelt down the wing and then want to cut back inside. I've seen players use this move effectively to cut back inside and then score. It's just another great one to have in your repertoire that's fairly simple to learn, but just works because, again, your opponent's momentum is going in that direction and you cut back in this direction. It's also another great move to draw a foul because even if they sort of read it or they're able to stop their momentum and they might stick out a leg, usually they're not going to get the ball unless they've really read it and kind of you've telegraphed the move. But for the most part, this move is so effective, especially if you find yourself in wide positions and you want to cut back inside. The second move we have to mention because it's one of the most effective in the game, and it's the body feint. And we only need to look at one of the best players to ever live, Lionel Messi, to understand how effective this move is. Now, what's great about the body feint is you can do many different variations of the body feint to fool a defender, and I also think it's one of the most versatile moves out there. You can beat a defender outright with the body feint as much as you can use it to create space or to get out of a tricky situation. There's so many different uses for the body feint, and I would highly recommend you learn to master just using your body to make it look like you're going in one direction, or even delaying your kind of foot and feinting in that way and then going out in another direction. Again, to learn this and what it looks like, just watch Lionel Messi compilations and you'll see how effective this move is. But I would just start with the simple body feint where you lean in one direction, kind of move your foot a little past the ball and then go out the other way. It's kind of like a step over, but you're not actually stepping over the ball in this case. And then there's plenty of other body feints techniques you can experiment with as well. And number one, again, I'm gonna keep it very simple, but it's getting really good at cuts and chops with the inside and outside of your foot. So just a simple chop back across and a cut going out the other way. Being able to pirouette 180 degrees, just having those chops and cuts that you can do very effectively, very quickly, are gonna help you keep the ball close, get out tight spots, and it's one of the moves you're actually gonna use more often in matches. Some of these other ones you might use a handful of times if you're good at them, but you're gonna be cutting and chopping and doing things of that nature all throughout the game to either turn back around, take advantage of space, to fake something, to make it look like you're gonna pass and then chop it in a different direction. And there's plenty of drills you can do to learn to get good at this, but I would definitely be working on your chops and your cuts, changes in direction very, very often, because they're gonna be very useful to you in match situations. Now, if you want to learn more about breaking ankles, being able to use these moves correctly to actually do that, watch this video next where I go over how you can start breaking ankles consistently in your matches and really leaving defenders in the dust.